Hello everybody, welcome back to the Zero to Hero Rimworld playthrough, where our colonist Lee started off with no skills, but all burning passions, and has now moved up to a whopping 7 in construction, still working on that melee and shooting. He's getting better with mining too. I've been prioritizing that with him, and you guys gave me some good workflow tips, so I set up just a few things before the video, so that I could eliminate some of that work, but we get the mining, the cooking's coming along, and I think I might wait a little bit longer on a nutrient paste dispenser if I do end up using it, because it's possible that I'll find another colonist who's a great cook, or just that naturally over time Lee will become a better cook, which would actually lead to, you know, less food poisoning ultimately for our colony. Although it is kind of a, you know, a fork in the road on that decision, I'm gonna stick with Lee's cooking. He's also got good plant skill now, so he can sow fields and take them down in pretty short order, which is nice because now he's been taking down this entire forest right out in front. Animals, he's been getting better slowly as he milks day by day as he tugs on the udders of Bessie the cow. He is eventually going to be getting better with animals. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time trying to get him to do that because Emergency Meal, our gazelle, will likely not be a great defense against attackers. If we had like a whole herd of them, if I were doing a Beastmaster playthrough, which totally sounds like a lot of fun, where we have like tons of animals, I would do that, but right now I don't think I'm going to focus only on that. And animal disease, flu. Okay, Red. Red the cow is actually not so bad sick. I mean, I like Red, but at the same time, like, he's the male, and there's nothing wrong with males, but I need the milk more from Bessie, but I don't want Red to die because Bessie is pregnant. Though we could have some sort of Oedipus thing go on, too, if she has a bull as her. I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, you can imagine that for yourselves. We just need more cows would be very nice, because I want to train them so that Lee can get a little bit better. I have set him to do this, but he probably won't get to do much. Let me see, his medical skill is slowly increasing because all the animals are getting sick, and he's just torturing the prisoners by putting band-aids all over their massive wounded infections. And other than that, he's coming along rather steadily. So I guess I'm just going to keep on explaining some workflow stuff before we really get into making the wall. I made him I forbid him from crossing through these trap hallway doors, which some of you guys have suggested, and I think I'm going to keep on building doors out just so that we can kind of hook around this trap hall and hopefully have more, you know, more traps for prisoners to come through. Eventually we could, actually, you know what, come to think of it, we could probably just reinstall this over there. Other than that, being in darkness, we fixed that, so now he's working in the light, and I have been checking these roofs, because these roofs are, if you look on the bottom left corner right about here, these are rock roof thin, so I think that these have no chance of infestation. I mean, it's a pretty low chance of infestation to begin with, as far as I know, but we are working with Randy Random, so we're going to be careful here. And right now, good, he's just doing Smoke Leaf in case if anyone goes crazy. Smoke Leaf actually provides a fantastic mood boost, because your colonists get high when they smoke it, and then they are not going crazy anymore, which is rather nice. Let me see, what else? I switched up my stockpiles by the butcher table. Some of you guys had pointed that out, and what else? I think at this point, I'm just going to prioritize the guest room, because we've had 2 people fall from the sky and die, and I do not like that. Ooh, wait, why are you sewing that? Okay, let's get rid of this grow zone. We don't want that. Nope. Bad grow zone. There we go. Okay, delete that. And, okay, fine, grow a potato there. Anyway, he's gonna finish this off, and why are you even cutting that? Did I designate that tree for cutting? Anyway, we're gonna have Lee finish off some of this stuff today. I think we're gonna prioritize the guest room, just make it a little bit less than awful. I also checked out my main room. Someone had said that roses are prettier in a pot than daylilies, which I buy, but I checked it out and it doesn't seem to be true. So I think I'm just going to switch this back to daylilies at this point. But I think they also take less time to sow, so that might be an advantage since this room is just barely dull and not, you know, awful at this point. What else am I having him do? I want to see if I can get this dining room to be a little bit more impressive, so we're going to start to replace the chairs. It looks like he constructed some of these with, I guess, like a better chance of it being normal or a slightly higher construction skill. So good, now we've got a dull dining room, and these dandelions are actually good because it takes him very little time to sow them. I may just You know what? I may just plant dandelions around the entire place and see how that goes. If we can get this dining room into better condition, he may get a boosted moodlet from it. So we'll see if we can just get that up to a higher speed. Okay, we're getting raided in the middle of the night. Fortunately, this is resembling a lot of what's in a Cassandra Classic playthrough. We've been raided by a person with a single club. You know, no drops out of the sky, no scythers yet. But we've got Yak. Now, tell me about Yak. He's got an old gunshot. Okay, the first thing that we're going to want to do is get the animals into the safe space. So let's just go into restrictions. And we're going to take all of our animals. Everybody come back to the safe. Get out of the danger zone. Okay, there they go. At this point, yes, this prisoner, ooh, I did not notice this granite. Thank you for attacking me, otherwise I would not have seen this granite ever. Okay, let's deconstruct that entire thing, because what I am planning on, and what I was kind of doing in the break, was to just lay out some of these granite walls. Ideally, I'd like to have my outer walls made of granite, because it is a very, very strong stone block. And I've also set up just a little stockpile down here so that Lee can start deconstructing some of these things, and then if he does decide to stockpile them, which hopefully he'll just bring them straight to the wall and we don't have to worry about that, but if for some godforsaken reason he does do that, he will bring stone blocks, hopefully, to this stockpile. We'll work on this side first, since I feel like a lot of raids have come out of this side of the map. But actually, you know what? There's very little extra work to do over here for this part. Anyway, it looks like that this raider, I did not read the flavor text much, but it looks like that the raider is going to be stalling here for a little while. So hopefully they'll come through, but otherwise we'll just have Lee get to work on the mining tomorrow morning and forbid him from this door. I'm thinking that, oh, Peace Ox quest. Well, I can't go on a quest when it's just one guy. That would be very, very risky. So we will stay here. We'll leave the animals inside. Man, look at those. Look at Bessie sleeping in the dandelions. That's actually very nice. Anyway, let's just wait till this raider comes over, let Lee finish sleeping, and then talk. Okay, Yak is beginning his assault. I'm going to be interested in seeing whether does he light the fields on fire. This would be rather annoying. No, okay, Yak, oh, actually it's a she, okay. I can never tell the tribe's people apart because of the hair. I guess I should really be looking at the body type. But let's see how many traps it takes. 1, oh, great, okay. She did not hold up for a very long time. And good, our spike trap has been set to rebuild itself. Let's just see, Yak, what were you like in your life? Man, it's a good thing we didn't have to fight her because she's very, very strong. She was a reclusive child warrior, yeah. Too smart? Oh, she was pretty. Okay, how was she? 16? 48. Okay, good. We didn't kill another young person. Let's allow the door again. And not that there's anything wrong with, like... God, if you take the, what is it, the converse, the inverse? If you take the other side of that statement, it sounds very, very wrong. So please don't imagine that too much. Anyway, let's allow Lee to finish this up. Good, he has 1 meal left, so he can focus on that today. We've also got rice growing. The rice grows so quickly in these, like, in these rich soil zones. I'm really, really happy with what's happened with those. Unless if you really have your, you know, like, your shit together when you start farming. You're good, we have heal root that's going to be here. Unless if you really have a good farmer and you can do a whole large area and you have that sectioned off and you have a lot of technology research, I really think that these rich soil grow zones are a little OP, so I'm going to definitely keep using those. Good, are you milking, Bessie? Let's get all the animals back out into the danger zone. Good. All right, so another day. Let's get to I'm going to just speed up so that he can get a few more of these things deconstructed, and then we'll hopefully get Lee working on this wall and some more meals right now, because it seems that defense and food are really the 2 main priorities, along with medicine, just to prevent the absolute worst thing from happening. Okay, I'm actually going to stop Lee from training the animals, only because it's preventing him from getting any food done. So yes, although that these cows are very, very good, and sometimes he wastes milk when he tries to milk Bessie because he's bad with animals. I don't know how that happens. I guess the milk just goes everywhere. I'm trying to picture it. But if you spend too much time picturing in Rimworld, you will go crazy, because if you look at the log, it's like Dwarf Fortress. If you read too much into it, you can get a very, very flavorful description of everything that's gone on. Anyway, we're gonna get Lee to... Well, we gotta get rid of this dead body, and then we'll get to work. Oh, do not do that. Oh, I see a flaw in this plan. Okay, we don't want him to... Yeah, okay, let's just really quickly draft him to get him to do that. Great. So, forbidding one of... Yeah, that's not going to be perfectly safe. So I am going to have to allow him to these doors. Otherwise, when he replaces... Otherwise, I'll have to have doors every other one, and I don't really want that. So we'll just have to manually do it as time goes on. I'm going to have to remember that, but, you know, spike traps have given me many, many headaches in the past. So just keep it in mind if you do use them for your playthrough. Alright, we've just had Lee meet a bulk goods trader from the tribe of Gorar. So I'm not going to get any of these animals. I would like to spend some... Ultimately, I would like to have more of them. Now, how far along is Bessie? Okay, there she is. But ultimately... Do we have any rice? It would be nice if we could just spend a bit less time hauling food, because I think that's a major time waster on Lee's day. So I am going to just sell a little bit. I don't think I need... all of this stuff. So I'm gonna sell some of the actually we may need that for somebody may fall out of the sky naked, so we don't want to let that happen. We don't really need this light leather. We don't need, I think the plain leather we're also fine with. My main thing is we're gonna have a lot of cloth if somebody comes along, and we won't really need heavy clothes because we're in permanent summer, so I think this should be perfectly fine, even though these good traditional material for making clothes and bags, so I think we're fine with cloth. Let me see, I want to keep my animals. Can I sell them the gazelle? No, no one will take the gazelle, unfortunately. It's a beautiful gazelle. But let's also just bring in a little bit more rice. Not 300, not quite that much. Just 50's worth. This is just going to save Lee a bit of hauling and a bit of time. Not much, but a bit. Because he's been spending way too much time on that. Let's accept... Good. Okay, so now let's have you haul the rice. Okay, great. So now he has enough for almost 3 more meals there, 10 food units to make a meal, and he's gonna be back up to speed, and that should get this rice crop growing again. Okay, a pretty minor thing, but I noticed some inefficiency in these stockpiles, so I have now set it to be only meat in the ones next to the butcher table so that Lee can just immediately drop down the meat and get back to work. And anything else, he can leave meals or like berries, animal products, anything of that nature in this room so that it'll be really close to his campfire where he's cooking. Another thing that someone had asked about, and I just thought this was worth mentioning, is that it doesn't seem that even with open doors, heat transfers between rooms. Because if you look here, with the fire in the room, we've got about mid-80s Fahrenheit, and then over here we've got like mid-70s. So even though these doors are open, it doesn't seem that the heat is getting through at all. Kind of useful because it lets him be a little bit more efficient indoors. Okay, another thing that we've got is Lee is getting a decent dining room buff. I don't know if this lasts for longer, if, you know, if the dining room gets more impressive, but it's not providing with a negative moodlet, but it's not really that great. So what I might end up doing, since he's so good with planting and he can just mow through an entire field really quickly, or sow a field quickly. Actually, how many have you got? It's fine. He probably could have hauled back more berries, but it's fine. What I might end up doing is just having him plant more beautiful flowers, because that might bring this dining room up to like a very, very impressive state. Despite the, actually, I'm not sure if that can happen without the cleanliness, so we'll have to do a little testing there. Okay, so Lee's been working surprisingly fast. We made part of the wall of sandstone because I think maybe before we're getting like rocket launchers and things like that launched at our base, we may as well start with a quick material, and we've got a good pile of sandstone over here, so I want to use up a lot of that. But he still does have a good number of granite tiles to work with, so that's slate. And slate, I'm not 100% certain of the strength, though I think it's slower than sandstone, but decently strong too, as far as I know. So we'll have him finish off this side and then come over here, and then if you could use this ruin over here. I've tried to strategically place these things so that, you know, he doesn't have too far to travel. Because really, when we get this far in the game, and we've got this much work to do with one guy, the walking speed just becomes crazy. And that's why I like playing kind of RPG style with one character, at least at first, because it kind of helps me manage the micro and really do a lot of justice to one guy's routines throughout the day. Because when you have more colonists, you start to lose track, and it's just good to zoom in on one or two. Anyway, we got more daylilies planted in here, and I'm queued up daylilies in the main room, so we'll see what happens with the dining room, and hopefully it will become somewhat impressive soon. Okay, and let's see if Lee succeeds at milking Bessie. He's still at... Okay, he's at animals 3 now, so you may... Come on, come on. Yes, he did it. Okay, that's a good 15 food. So that's a meal and a half per day, plus whatever we get from berries. So now he's set with meals again. This was starting to get kind of annoying, and I don't like how far off this, this grow zone is from our kitchen. So eventually, you know, I was thinking of putting what was I going to say? A fridge in here, but what I might ultimately do, since we want to have our farms right nearby our fridge and our kitchen and our dining room and so on, and we want to kind of master that workflow, we'll probably end up moving the kitchen over to here in time, because now that I have the Great Wall getting set up, I'm thinking it's probably going to be more worthwhile to just start to, you know, think about overall colony size and defenses, because this area here is enough to have, you know, a decently well-sized, or a decently large-sized colony, that, you know, end game. And we also got to get rid of these ibex rams and does somehow too. I haven't really figured that out yet, but I don't want them eating my crops. Okay, and we got a refugee traced to the colony. Would be nice. We can also just refuse him if we don't like him. And Inventor, okay, Inventor would actually be very good. We could have somebody do research, maybe get some pemmican going in here. Inventor named Schwartz calls you from nearby. I am Schwartz. He's being chased by pirates from persecution outfit. He begs for safety and offers to join your colony. He's 26, okay, so he's gonna have 2 backstories. Could be random, but there's no time to collect more information, and he's got 1 drifter on his tail. Let's offer him some safety and just check him out. What kind of person is he? Okay, medical assistant and inventor. Transhumanist, though, so he's going to need a peg leg. But that's okay, that'll give Lee more medicine skill. He can test it out on him. So you really want this, man. Greedy, okay, so he's gonna need a better bedroom. But you know what, we could probably have him and Lee trade. I could have Lee in here. It's a good thing that we got this set up, so we could set up a new bedroom. And then what else is... He's got a chemical interest. These are not great traits. Actually, it's 3 pretty negative traits. I did also have one of my other colonists, Slick, get very greedy, and he started to hate everybody. They were like rivals, though, and they vied for... you know, attention. But although he's incapable of firefighting, he's still pretty good at other things, too. And he's got a decent number of passions. Nothing great, but you know what? I think I'm going to offer this guy safety because I can offer it to him, and I need more people in general right now. Let's just get Lee out of here because I don't want him to be there. And, oh. Okay, and so we immediately get this thing. I got this request to call this from one of my friends. So we will call our faction Worm Valley after our negative traits playthrough. And we'll call our settlement, I'm gonna go with what I went with for my last series, Captain Crunch and the Serial Killers. Okay. I am very happy with that. We are Worm Valley and we are Captain Crunch and the Serial Killers. Okay, so we want to get the animals into the safe space, same thing as we do for any raid. Let's get Schwartz, let's just draft him really quickly, and we'll bring him over there. And then Lee, you can... clear your prioritized work. I think he was going to go to rest. No, he's going to go to relax socially anyway. So we'll just have him do that. And, you know, it might even be a little while till this guy comes along. I'm just trying to think if there's any last-minute preparations we can do. Lee's also got food poisoning, too. Oh, yeah, so he's not going to be able to move as quickly. So it's a good thing that this guy took some time before he got here, because it's going to take Lee a little while to walk back. We could have Red the Bull go out. Oh, wait, what is wrong with him now? Okay, he's developed an immunity to the flu, so he's fine now. Wasn't really thinking too much about that, to be honest. But, oh, wow, did he just overcome that on his own? He's a good bull, then. Okay, so we got... Rudy Rudiger is attacking us, except he has a mohawk. Alright, let's just check out this guy, Rudy. You know, we could... If he doesn't die, we could perform medical experiments on him and get further experience before we install that peg leg on Schwartz. But let's just, come on, Lee, you can do it. Is this guy gonna, is he gonna beat him there? Ooh, that would really stink if he did. No, come on, Lee. I did not think that the food poisoning would get you killed. Nor do I think it will, but okay, he's taking an alarmingly fast time to open that door. And let's also just have Schwartz equip one of these items. You can take that steel club. That's probably the next best thing in here. And go, 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 go. 1, 2, 3. Wow, he was a tough guy. Okay, we're gonna get him out of here. And is the knife? Steel knife. Poor quality. I don't honestly know which one of these is a better thing. I think steel is better than a knife is better than a club, so I think I'm gonna take that instead, though it is poor quality. And what is the quality on this? Steel club, 53%. So it's actually in decent condition. Maybe we'll keep him with the club. I may be wrong about this. If I'm being an idiot right now, please let me know. Okay, we're going to allow Rudy, and then we're going to bury him. But what I also wanted to do while they were here was just fetch out some of these items. And it looks like we have to set one of these traps to be made. Now, let's also start making these traps of a stronger material, because I don't think that wood is going to be the best thing, ultimately. I think granite is supposed to be better. Since granite is the strongest type of stone, I'm assuming that we don't have any granite. Yeah, let's just make them out of slate. That's probably fine. We haven't been using it for anything else. And who has food poisoning? Lee still has food. Okay, God, all over the dandelions. God damn it, Lee. And it looks like we didn't even have to forbid any doors there. Okay, so they will repair these in relative safety. Let's just set Lee to... He is stressed, though. I don't want him to... Wait, did he tend to himself? Oh, no, he can't even do that right now. But he is set to self... Yes, he is set to self-tend. Okay, so then that's fine. He's going to be cooking a simple meal... You know what, that's fine. He's probably a better cook than Lee, too. Cooking 8, I believe it's cooking 8 when it gets not so awful. No, he's only at cooking 4, so we probably won't want him to do any more cooking after this one meal. In fact, stop cooking that meal right now. Immediately. Do as I say. Okay, let's also just set him to prioritize mainly the work that he's passionate about, even if he's not that great at it. He's also a decent smith, so we'll have him do that as well. Art would be okay, but we'll probably want Lee doing the art, because Lee's eventually going to get great at it. And he's also an inventor, so he could do that as well. Let's just set some of these tasks to be first priority, and then Schwartz, you can... What were you going to do next? Hauling Rudy the gardener? Okay, good, he's bringing him over there, so we won't spot any dead bodies and get Lee into a worse mood. Let's also just put out another grave. As soon as you do that, he's not assigned to constructing. Let's just... do we want him constructing? You know what? You can construct a grave. You can't mess that up. And then afterward, Lee will have to clean up his own vomit. Anyway, I'm just going to organize some basic tasks for them, and then we'll get back to building the wall. I was wrong. He can mess up digging a grave. And he did. Okay, so I've taken a quick look at... Actually, Schwartz, can you just clean up this vomit for a second? I've taken a look at Schwartz's stats and everything like that, and of course he's going through some stuff, right? I'm just going to pause so that he doesn't go crazy or anything like that. He's greedy for an impressive bedroom because he's greedy. He also doesn't like anyone else having a more impressive bedroom than him, so I've given him the better of the two. He's living in... that's just a quick one. He also observed that will be going away in a second. Yeah, we're gonna have to perform an operation on him soon, and we also want to get him to have some clothes on. Basically, he doesn't like being naked and not having a peg leg. Kind of an unusual guy, but you know what? Lee is making up for that with his normalcy. I've also looked at his bio, and it seems like the most useful skills that we could have him do right now are plants. Really just growing and plant cutting, because he's not a bad, well, he's a pretty awful cook, let's just be honest. But we needed cooking, plants, mining, and construction at the start of our colony, so I think we'll move Lee, or we'll keep Lee on his main tasks right now, but we'll just have Schwartz focus more on the plant cutting. Other than that, I've also set up a tailor bench area, so we can hopefully start to get some use out of our cloth. We were growing that cloth for a reason, and now we should be... Let's also just get this stuff in as quickly as possible. Good, he's finishing the harvesting. We want to finish that off as quickly as possible because we may start to have more colonists join before you know it, and they tend to arrive at a pretty rapid clip. Eventually, I am going to want to start moving the kitchens over here, and then we'll probably make these areas just into bedrooms with some sort of central hallway, because it's always good to have the bedrooms on the far edges of your colony. As far as I know, they're well protected in here from raiders too, you know, by the mountain, but not under the mountain. Mainly because they just won't be spending that much time in their bedrooms throughout the day. And we will start to restrict their schedules. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned this too. I'm going to give them each 2 hours of recreation throughout the day, just so I'm not thinking too hard about that. And what else? My zone areas? Where's my home right now? I just want to make sure that my home is... Okay, well, we will start to set out more of our zone as the home. Let's go into Architect. Zone, we'll also call this our home. And... eventually, we'll have this entire area in here be our home, but for now, that's probably enough. Let's just keep them about their tasks for today. I may have overdone it here. I did not realize how much extra work slate traps are. I'm assuming that they're much better, though I don't know where. Does it... Trap armor penetration 90, trap melee damage 60, so how much more powerful is that than wood? 45, so maybe we're not better off with slate. I mean, at the same time, it's also going to help Lee grind his construction skill, but maybe there's a better material. I don't know what the optimal material for traps is. If anyone does know that, though, comment down below. But at this point, we want to get Lee out of an awful bedroom, but he's still... I don't think he's had a single break for the entire time. We could focus him on... cooking. We haven't had any food problems, thankfully, unlike in our last colonies. And Schwartz's life is still kind of a mess, so he may, you know, break once or something like that. But he's working on an... Okay, we have a slightly impressive bedroom now. We'll see how this goes for today. Alright, so now we are getting the slightly impressive rec room and dining room buffs, which are fantastic because they're gonna last for much longer than the, you know, decent buffs. Which lasts about a half hour. These last for an entire day, so that's a slight mood boost for the whole day. So even though that he's naked and he doesn't have a peg leg, Schwartz will still be pretty high. He is going to be a character. I swear that. But now we'll want to focus hunger, basic things like that, and then starting to expand our stockpiles. Don't know if we'll be able to finish off this wall for today, but we at least have a really good workflow going, and there's nothing other than the rice, which we are harvesting at a rapid clip. Nothing too valuable out here that raiders could attack. We will start to lose that, though, once we get this tailoring area going. But let's just see how much more work they can get done today. Alright, we finished our basic work for today. We got Lee into a dull bedroom, so he's not going to be sleeping in an awful one tonight. He may still have this debuff because he started sleeping in it, or from yesterday, or something like that. And he's got unfulfilled recreation, but he seems very stable to me. Schwartz, on the other hand, we probably need to work on more, but I think that having him work on plants was a very good move, because now we have tons of meals ready to be made. You know, we've got decent lifespans on most of our food, and I think in general that was a good move overall. But he also... we're gonna want to give him that impressive bedroom ASAP, because that's not so hard to do. And we're gonna want to make sure it stays well enough above Lee's, because otherwise then he'll get greedy of Lee. And I also want to just check the social relations between those two, because that can be... Alright, so opinion of Lee +2 chit chat. I know you can, like, have them warden each other to become best friends and arrest each other. I don't think I'm gonna go to quite that great length, though, because I have had people who are rivals live together and just sort of, like, spur each other on through how much they hate each other, I suppose. And then the last thing I wanted to just check out was the damage that these traps are doing. As far as I know, the spring chances are they all the same? Well, I mean, some of them are significantly more work, and they don't really do too much more damage. Armor penetration, I haven't even really been checking out. Maybe that's the... Whoops, I don't want to do that. Maybe that's the main part, is that the wood ones, even though they're not doing so much more damage, it's like 45 versus 60 for slate, you know, from wood. they're doing a lot more armor penetration. So I guess that's for like higher level raids, which I suppose is worthwhile since we've got Randy Random. But what I might want to do is to switch around the order of some of these, because, you know, we might want to have wood be the first trap, because most people, you know, we don't have to rearm that, but I don't know, it's kind of micromanagey, and I think for the most part we're fine right now as we are. Okay, at this point I'm going to do the unthinkable. We have 5 herbal medicine, but I think with his really amateur medical skill, Lee will be okay, though I've never honestly installed a peg leg on a colonist, so we're going to see how this goes. We're going to have him operate on Schwartz. I've had it set so that Schwartz... I figure harvesting is... yeah, probably the peg leg is going to be the best one. Wooden foot... I've heard peg leg from most of you guys, so I'm gonna go with peg leg. Wooden foot would definitely be interesting though. Maybe it's better. Okay, we were using up only one thing of plant medicine to cut off this man's leg and replace it with a peg leg, and one small log. Let's see how this goes. Oh man, it's I'm not a real doctor, but I play one on TV. Fortunately, it will get Lee better with medicine, so it's kind of like 2 for 1. It's budget options we're going through right here. Now, I don't know if there is a recovery time, but let's just find out. Health, whole body anesthetic, consciousness max 10%. This is beautiful. God, you know, they really do a good job with the sound effects, and... Oh no, I thought they were even better friends. Oh no, they are better friends because he installed a peg leg on him. He's like, oh, thank you. I really needed that. Okay, and now he's got a peg leg, and now, oh, that's so nice. He's feeding him after he installed the peg leg on him. So I guess that's going to wear off in a little while. And then Schwartz will not be upset because he has a synthetic, a non-human body part. But he will be happy. Eventually, we'll try to give him something better once we research the technology. But now he no longer has that debuff, and he probably won't go crazy. Alright, so at this point we've got a somewhat impressive dining room. I'm just going to deconstruct this furniture because it turns out that the original furniture that Lee built is getting kind of crappy now, so I'll take that away. We got tons of daylilies in here, which, although they take a long time to plant, Schwartz is a good planter, and I figure if we have him pretty much doing only planting, it's totally fine to do this instead of art, because they're both terrible at art, and that would also take a long time. But we're going to have him do that, and we also got a tailor bench set up, because... for right now, I don't really want to replace these floors with smooth floors because it's going to be easier to track dirt on them. I've also noticed, like, dirt on the floors, so I don't know if that's 100%, you know, it still can get dirty, but it just doesn't seem to happen as much as with constructed floors. So I'm perfectly fine with these rough limestone floors for right now. Still think we're safe from infestations because I haven't seen any overhead mountains, though possibly not over here. I may need to fill that in. If you fill back in, does that cause it to stop happening? Not sure about that, and I would like that answered if you can. But at this point, yeah, I think we'll just do that, and then I want to end by having him at least get some more work done on the wall, because I think that's key, and that's our next, like, milestone towards civilization, other than a refrigerator. Okay, we had a pretty crazy storm, so there's just fires everywhere, but fortunately not in our home area, and they're behind all the stone walls, so... hopefully, yeah, you know, just keep sleeping, Lee. You'll probably be fine with this. I don't really care too much about this environment. It's providing us with a lot of wood, but we could pretty easily go somewhere else for it. And at this point, one last thing I noticed was that the animal sleeping spots were not in their allowed zones, so they were not sleeping in them. But other than that, and now let's just see what mood boost are they getting for somewhat impressive dining room, so slightly more, and Bessie has given birth. Just came right out of her. Calf 1, okay, we got a male. Nothing against men, but it's not what we needed. We may need to train these guys to be attack bulls in time. Let's just see. Okay, its tameness is 5 out of 5. Eventually we'll get back to this. But yeah, on to the wall. Alright, the fire has decimated a lot of the map, but fortunately a rainstorm came by. Not really nice. I don't know if Randy Random has this much of an effect on weather or if it's just events. But that's more fire than I usually deal with, and usually with fire comes rain. Unfortunately, it took too long this time, so we're gonna be out a lot of wood, but I mean, on the bright side, you know, this did not get into our home area too much. Maybe a bit over here, but it's nothing that we can't come back from. And Schwartz has started to make himself some pants and a parka. Let me see, 8 without a table soaking wet, but eventually, yeah, he is going to start to stabilize, and Lee seems very, very stable right now, because he doesn't have the greedy trait or anything. Now, what else can we do? Let's also just add in a new table, and hopefully that will be in better quality. And we got a raid again from Sardine, the shaman. Alright, first things first, everybody back into the safe space. Fortunately, I've not had anything too weird. I'd prefer raids to, like, diseases and things that are debilitating to your colonists anyway. So, nothing too particularly good out here, so let's just run them back inside. Are you going to finish this parka first? You may be able to finish the parka first. Nah, that would be a stupid mistake. I don't really want to risk this, so I'm just going to have him come in. I don't want to estimate and think like that. Alright, well, hopefully Sardine will not go into that building. If he does set that on fire, what is his melee skill? We have a new baby bull. Oh, I forgot the baby, calf 1, what should we name it? Alright, write down what you think we should name calf, maybe like Blue? I don't know. I need a better name for it. I think I'll wait on that for a little while, but let's also just get him into the safe space. Oh wait, he is coming into the safe space. Oh, he's so adorable and obedient. And eventually he'll be violent. Alright, well, we got plenty of spike traps. Let's just see this marble one. I will want it to auto-rearm. I mean, it's fine for now. I don't want to... Okay, 60 and 90%. Yeah, so they all have, like, differing bits. But I suppose that probably wood ones are better in early game, just for volume, not using up too many materials. And I guess as you get into later game, you'll probably need traps with better armor penetration. Let me just see. Actually, I don't want to forbid you guys. Let's just forbid this door. And just allow them to go. Oh, yeah, I forgot this one, too. Draft again. There we go. Okay, so now they should go. Hey, stop eating those meals. Okay. look at the calf. Calf's like, ooh, food. Alright, goodbye, Sardine. We did not know thee well, but I don't really want it. We can probably just sell most of their clubs to traders. Anyway, finish that off. Oh, good. The park is still in progress. And we can get back to our tasks. Alright, I had a really strange random event. So a rhinoceros self-tamed, and then immediately got sick. But its name is Sugar, so... I mean, I guess it's named itself in the wild. I didn't even know that there was a fire over there. I wasn't aware of that. But we'll keep Sugar because I imagine that having a rhinoceros that you could just release at any time is probably going to be a good thing. But on the I don't know if it'll get violent if I try to slaughter it. Rhinoceros meat sounds exotic, but I don't know. Tell me what you want me to do with the rhinoceros, and I'll do it. Because I've never had a pet rhinoceros. It's 34, so it's older than everybody here, I think. Maybe we'll make it like the wise elder and have it do research, or not. And the last thing is I'm just having Lee remake some of the beds because now they're normal. This one used to be awful, and Lee's bed was poor, so now I guess it's probably most likely to be normal, but I think there are likelihoods. So we could get something even better if we get lucky, I don't know. But anyway, it's actually a lot. And we got a good bit done on the wall, and I don't like to keep these videos too long. Some people requested them to be really long. If there is a minute value, let me know what you like to watch in the comments, because I figure like 30-ish minutes is about as much as I would do if I were going to watch one of these. But anyway, we got Schwartz clothed, and not really great clothes, but he's better off than he was before. He's got food poisoning, but that'll go away. Anyway, let me know what you think, if there's any tips, anything that I missed, but we've done a lot of work today, and we've still got a lot ahead of us. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.